Well, the sun is thinking about coming up, and I reckon I've already been up for about 7 hours. In fact, I got out of bed so early, I don't think I'd got to bed yet. This is Frank Milito from East Gippsland Fishing Charters. Can I ask Frank, why would I get out of bed so early in the morning?
Well, you know what they say, Paul. The early bird catches the worm, but in this case, we're looking for fish.
Now, when you say fish, what type of fish?
Well, there's a chance we might snag an estuary perch, a black brim, or even a flathead, but being the Gippsland Lakes, who knows?
And talking about the Gippsland Lakes, what a magnificent part of the world, around 300 k's east of the CBD of Melbourne. And today we're fishing the Mitchell River, but there's also the Tambo River, the Nicholson River. I dreamt about coming to these places when I was a little boy. Today, I'm about that much bigger than a little boy. We're going to catch some beautiful fish. Let's do it, mate.
All right.
Let's rock and roll. One thing I want to know about flying foxes, Frank. If you hang upside down all day, how on earth do you not end up pooping on your head?
I'd say it'd be with lots of practice.
Seriously, kids, how can you do that?
We're just coming up on this piece of structure now, Paul. Really great perch spot. A lot of the Bensdale locals frequent this location. Obviously it looks very perchy, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, there's quite a few fish hanging underneath this bank by the sounder.
Yep.
So we'll throw some wrigglers at them, some bloodworm wrigglers.
Beautiful.
A few other bits and pieces and see how we go.
And even though this is so close to a bridge, traffic going past, you'll hear that in the background.
Yep.
There's heaps of fish here.
Doesn't seem to make any difference. They love holding here.
Unbelievable.
Look under the snag.
Oh my goodness me.
The whole river is alive.
I can see, and when you guys come in here, I can see 50 to 100 bream, maybe, 100 bream, just sitting right under that branch there. And they're just slowly turning and rolling. Now, there's small fish, but there's a lot of them. And that is just incredible. It's worth coming in nice and slow and just having a look at the fish under that snag. And basically 3 or 4 casts, and straight away there's fish all over the place. Mate, swing him up, you get a chance. And when you say small perch,
That's legal size.
it is legal size, and I've got to be very careful handling this fish because these things have very nasty gill rags, don't they?
Do they what?
I assume a few clients get nailed.
Oh, well, actually, it's me. I end up with perch fingers pretty regularly.
Well, beautiful fish, and there are literally thousands of fish in there.
Yeah.
You're going to pick him up like that. What a cracker. We'll put this guy back. But a very pleasant start. And as I said earlier, well worth getting out of bed early for. Now you're saying just a little lift to the rod tip here?
Yeah, just a minor movement. These fish still aren't really up and aggressive yet. They're just having a little bit of a pick on the back of the lure, just about every cast. I think what's happening is there's probably a little bit of debris on the bottom as well.
Yep.
And we're just twitching our lures. I'm just using a
look at those mullet
little
bass.
prawn imitation. You're using a great bloodworm wriggler, Squidgy bloodworm wriggler.
My favourite soft plastic in the whole world.
And rightly so.
Squidgy bloodworm wriggler. The only reason I haven't caught a perch, mate, is because I'm no good, because I had several hits. And what I'm about to do, I'm about to change my reel to left-hand wind, because I'm winding with the right, and I just can't get the right feel.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting theory that we try and get everyone that comes on board the charter to understand that if you sign your name with your right hand, then that's your most coordinated hand. That's the hand you should run the rod with. And then your left hand's purely just to operate, oh, there was a good hit, just to operate the reel for storage of the line.
Exactly right.
So many people will try and cast like that and then change over at the last minute to wind, which is a very inefficient method. So that's one thing we certainly try and teach people is the correct handling of the rod. You've sort of got the knack now. Once you get the practice of the location, you virtually don't get, oh, there he is.
There's so many fish stacked in there, and
there's thousands of them.
This is a really good lesson.
Yeah.
Just because there's fish there doesn't mean you're going to catch them every cast. Is that a bit better one or just a fighter?
He's just a fighty one. Yeah.
He's a nice one.
Yeah, a beautiful little fish once again.
So at the moment, I'm fishing a Squidgy wriggler. Frank's fishing a prawn-shaped plastic, and it's only a pup, mate.
That's only a baby.
You're catching fish, and that's what it's all about.
Yep.
So I'm going to keep persisting with the wriggler because I know they work and I believe in them. But if I don't catch a fish, you'll see me change very soon, because it's all about using what the fish are feeding on at the time. Gotcha!
Oh, nice one.
Got him on. And you know what that was? That was just a really slow wind.
Yes, yep.
Just basically almost on the surface.
Yep, okay, excellent. Maybe they've moved up in the water column a bit. That's a nice little fish, Paul.
Yeah, beautiful fish, aren't they?
Oh, look at that. That's a slightly better one too this time.
Oh, I just love these things. And if you're going to target estuary perch in Australia, I'd always say, and correct me if I'm wrong, that Gippsland has got to be the #1 location.
Indeed.
With areas like this.
Yep.
Bem River, of course, famous for big perch.
Yep, Marlow.
A few sneaky rivers
Isn't
down
that beautiful, mate? I'll hold the rod for you.
Thank you, my friend.
Isn't that lovely?
And the best way to grab these guys is just with that thumb grip.
A good old lip grip.
And just a cracking fish. I'm actually supporting you with my little finger there as well. Massive mouth, and they say as close to the Victorian barramundi as you'd ever get.
Southern barra.
Southern
what a beautiful
barra.
thing.
They are a beautiful thing, and when they start getting up around 6 or 7 pounds, they're almost scary. Ooh.
Oh, nearly, mate.
Had him.
Nearly.
I felt the hook just touch him. We'll see if he comes back. This is the trouble with fishing structure. You're fishing structure because that's where the fish are, but you're going to keep getting snagged, and it's really frustrating. Luckily, Frank is really, really good at tying knots. And remember, if you can't tie knots, just tie lots. That's the sound I like to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. They're very tentative. That's like the third cast in a row.
And you got a bite.
half a dozen hits all the way back in.
I think it's a bit better one too, mate.
I think it is, mate.
I had a look at him. He looks like a really nice. Yeah, he's a nice fish.
It is a beautiful fish, isn't it? We'll lift him in though. We'll pull him in. Did you want to?
Mate, it's all good.
Yep.
That is a really nice estuary perch. Also called EP for short. And yeah, to catch this with Bairnsdale literally a kilometre away, it is just a sensational thing.
Oh, there he is again. Yep. Oh, that's a better fish. Oh, he's a nice fish. Well, he's certainly putting on an act like he is anyway, so let's see, hey?
Well, that last one you got was a cracker. This one's, oh, he's a nice one.
That's a nice little fishy too. He's well hooked as well, Paul.
Look at that. You know what's interesting too? The way they flare everything.
Yeah.
In the water, he's a good one. In the water, and I'm just going to grab him in the gob, and just a reminder, if you come in this area, grab him in the gob because of these gill breakers there, they'll cut you to bits. They flare everything like he's doing now. See even that anal fin there, dorsal fin, all flared up to give him as much traction in the water as possible. Absolutely. And he has absolutely gobbed that prawn. Check that out. I reckon he's one hungry little perch.
And you know what else they can do too is that big mouth open when they're running through the water flat out supercharges their gills and gives them heaps more oxygen, which is a really clever thing.
Absolutely. Turbocharged perch.
Yeah, turbocharged.
I love it. Oh, gotcha.
Well done, Paul.
Oh, he feels all right too.
Top stuff.
That was a few bites there, and that was great advice. Frank just said you've got to keep that line almost tight, but not tight. And line management isn't easy, is it?
It isn't. It isn't for sure.
But that was just about concentrating, and he's a nice fish.
That's a beautiful fish, Paul.
I've only been good enough to hook a few of them, and they have a little bit of go, don't they?
Just let me grab the dip net for that one, Paul, just to be safe. He's actually caught me by surprise. He's a bit bigger than I thought. Good old bloodworm wriggler, there it is again.
Yeah, baby.
Beautiful
fish,
mate.
Lovely fish.
Well done.
Mate, thanks for netting that for me, and he's well hooked too.
Absolutely.
So that is really encouraging because that's starting to become a really nice perch. And if you think about it, the tiniest little bite produced such a beautiful fish. He's well hooked, he's starting to get right up there. It's a big fish, 30 to 40 years of age. Obviously you're not going to take him for a feed because that's too hard, let him go. What we're doing, we're putting all of our fish in the live well. When we leave the fishing grounds, we'll go and release those fish somewhere else because if you put perch back, they're very territorial. There's a chance they might spook their mates. You know what I love? I love the fact that I still get excited about every cast, even though I fish all over the world. Now, pretty hot perch bite with this gear of choice today. Shimano CI4 Stratic, magnificent reel, super lightweight, great drag. The braid, you'll see it's orange Finn's braid. The reason for the orange is you can actually see the bites, which makes perch fishing so much easier. And the rod, it's one of these new Paul Worsing Nano series by Shimano. The first range of rods Shimano ever did in Nano with my name on it. I've got to tell you, I'm pretty proud. It's a 7'2", one piece, and it's perfect for chucking around these plastics. These nano rods are just so strong because of that nanotechnology. Do yourself a favour and Google nanotechnology, but basically it means really small particles of resin. They get in and they bind really well. So what you get is a very strong rod that is much lighter and much easier to use than a conventional fishing rod. I've got to say, the old gear of choice, it's working a treat. Gotcha.
Nice work.
Yeah, that was a very slow take, that one. There's mullet. Look at the bream. I can see bream, mullet, and
everything's
perch.
following it.
Actually, bream following it up. I don't know if they'll follow it now. They might get spooked.
Oh, that was a good hit.
But there's fish everywhere here. It is just a fishing bonanza. I cannot believe how good it is. And the thing with perch fishing is a bit like barramundi. One can be like 20 centimetres and the next one can be 60 centimetres. You just never know what you're going to catch. And that's why we love it so much. And again, he's pinned just perfectly by that bloodworm wriggler. Time to change the wriggler. You can see that's come off. But we're catching plenty of fish and we're filling the well at the back. So soon we're going to empty this well, we're going to move down river and then come back and smack a few more, because smacking perch Gippsland style is a lot of fun. Oh, that's it. Well, there's some of the perch we've caught this morning. Been keeping them all alive in this little well, and the idea is we take them upstream and just let them go, because we don't want them to go and tell their mates where we are. So if I just do that, they'll just kick off a little bit. Look at them go. Bang, bang, bang. And they're swimming away, saying, what was all that about? How cool is that? Now these perch, they're just going to swim back to a new snag. Now we can sneak back to the old snag and smash a few of their mates. And when I say smash, I mean politely. Unbelievable anchovies this far up in the brackish water. This place is alive. So fishing soft plastics can be very technique sensitive at times, and a lot of people want to give it a go, but they're just not quite sure what to do. So the key here is just wind really slow, and I'm staying in control. I can feel my lure, and I'm watching my braid, looking for the smallest little bump, tweak, whitebait swimming around. This is just insane. I feel like I'm on the continental shelf, the amount of fish that are here. I'm just watching for the bite, watching that loop in the line. You'll see that little dangly bit hanging down. Oh, missed him. Now that's what you're looking for. See that bang, the orange line just goes whack. That's what you're looking for. I just wasn't quick enough. I'll see if I can get him now. Oh, again. I'm just going to try and put a cast right over that snag. That is the honey hole. And it's just a matter of letting that sink down and just feeling for the small bite. Just lift the rod tip, wind down. And all I'm doing is watch that line, just feeling for that little tweak.
Good fish.
Well, I put that lure right on the bank and he nailed it as it was going down. And these are cracking estuary perch. What beautiful fish, and he didn't know what hit him. Straight out. And he's a really nice fish. Oh, he's giving me a bit of hurt. And that is just gold.